It's time to get your writ on with the hottest law show on TV. Unreal cases, unreal people. He's a straight shooter.
I don't care whether you are the daughter of James McGregor Burns. Do not speak like that in my courtroom.
And he's always fair.
Bailiff, take the baby, cut it in half. That's my final ruling. No, ma'am, you can stop crying. That is my final ruling.
It's justice, Outback style. From the land of convicts, the lawbreaker becomes the lawmaker. He's putting another shrimp behind Barbies. He's the key to taking the me out of crime. He's a hardcore bad bum. He's Judge Muir.
What do I look like, Judge Ito? It's a bloody glove. And I do mean bloody glove. Guilty!
And now today's case. Authors Noel Tichy and Warren Bennis are charged with a gross waste of everyone's time, especially the guy that had to read it all and write 10 pages on it for his assignment. They have pled not guilty. It's a case of the poor judgment. Now let's join the case.
Okay, so you two are authors?
That's right, Your Honor.
And you collaborated on this book, Judgment, How Winning Leaders Make Great Calls. You two think you're some sort of leadership gurus?
That's right, Your Honor.
So, what's this book all about?
Well, Your Honor, as you well know, it is difficult to make judgment calls. Not just the number of decisions, but the really important ones.
And may I say, you do an excellent job, Your Honor.
You can quit sucking up, Tichy. You're not Bowman or Deal.
Yes, Your Worship.
We know there is no magic formula to making great decisions, but we believe there are some key factors that can help executives to hone their decision-making skills and follow through to judgment success.
So you're not just talking about decision-making here, right?
No, Judge. That is just part of it. We believe you need to examine the context leading up to the judgment decision. How the decision will lead to success.
The call.
And how the leader manages the process.
The execution.
What you're saying is good judgment is a longer process, not just a one-off.
Yes, Your Honor, and we believe there are three basic domains for judgment calls. The first is people, and in some ways that's the most important because the right people decisions can make all the difference.
That's very HR collegial of you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Hey, don't flatter yourself, Tichy. I like formal structuralism.
Sorry, Your Honor. But after people domain, we look at strategies calls and then crisis calls. Each of these domains have the pre, the call, and the execution.
What sort of data do you use to make these calls?
Well, Your Honor, we consider 4 types of knowledge that play into that decision. Self-knowledge, which is the understanding of our own strengths and weaknesses. Social networks, our knowledge of team building and managing. Organizational knowledge tells us the strengths and weaknesses of our company and the people in it. And contextual knowledge is the lay of the land, what's going on with our external stakeholders.
What do you do then for value-based judgment decisions?
Here's the kicker. We also invented the TPOV.
TPOV? Sounds like an East Coast rap thug.
No, Your Honor. TPOV, the teachable point of view. You can think of it like a mission statement or value statements. Like in God We Trust, truth, justice, and the American way. Foster's Australian for beer.
Order. Order. Order in the court. Listen, one more generic cultural overgeneralization stereotype like that, and I will hold you in contempt.
Sorry, Your Honor, but teachable points of view are statements of value that the organization is guided by throughout the people calls, strategy calls, and crisis calls. It's the values that are handed down from the top to dictate all the judgment calls. But these are more than just empty platitudes. They are rich, moral, and ethical blueprints for the company.
A TPOV.
A TPOV, as in I'm a little TPOV, short and concise. I got all your judgments, and that's really nice. Yeah.
I prefer I guide all your judgments like I'm from Miami Vice.
Okay. I still don't get how the TPOVs actually work.
Well, Your Honor, picture, given your internal values, your TPOVs, if you will, where would you like to be in 3 to 5 years? Take a minute to consider it.
The U.S. justice system is pleased to announce the latest confirmation for U.S. Jumbo Supreme Court Justice, the Honorable and Most Excellent Mr. Pete Muir.
See, the idea is your TPOV is used as the basis of the story. We all have a story, not of what is gone, but of what is to come, a projection of the future. The story is the creative self-talk that describes what you are going to become, how you will chart the course of the organization to the future with judgment calls based on the ethical underpinnings of the TPOV.
You're talking about transformationalism, not transactional.
Exactly, Your Honor. We believe that the best judgment calls are made by leaders who have a moral compass defined by their TPOV. The narrative says where we are now, where we are going, and how we'll get there.
Okay. Either of you have anything to add?
No, Your Honor. We hope we have made our case.
All right, this court is in recess while I make my ruling.
We'll be right back with Judge Muir after this important message.
Hello, I'm not a doctor, but I do play one on television. Hundreds of Americans are affected each year by burns, and it's not just the initial exposure. It's the lingering after effects. Loss of vision, loss of loved ones.
And then the transformational bear said to the transactional bear, why don't we just work together for the common good?
Huh? Narcolepsy, intermittent bleeding, and of course the scolding.
Stop being so transactional. You should be more transformational. Where are your ethics?
If you or someone you know is suffering from burns, don't let them suffer alone. Don't let burns give you the third degree.
Welcome back to Judge Muir. The judge is ready to rule.
Tichy and Bennis, you're charged with a very serious crime. Useless time wasting is usually reserved for traffic jams, for airports, and for the DMV. You presented your case for why judgment, how winning leaders make great calls, is not a colossal waste of time. I find some of your arguments compelling. Leaders should indeed have a moral compass that guides their judgments and allows them to vision cast for their organization. But you failed to mention how most of your book was repetitive examples of how you fawned over all these CEOs inside. I believe you should have made your points in much less than the 400 pages it took to write this. Therefore, weighing all the evidence, I will spare you a prison sentence. But I am going to fine you $3 billion for your crimes against humanity. Case closed.
And now for a word with our clients. Guys, were you happy or disappointed with the outcome of your case?
Well, obviously, we're glad not to be going to jail again.
And what about the loss of the $3 billion?
Well, we made 4 or 5 on this book, so
Suckers! And there you have it. Some may say justice is blind, but in this case, we wish it was. Next time on Judge Muir.